Greetings and welcome to episode 77 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Great Britain campaign. And this, my friends, how we left it last time, where we are immediately dealt with an impasse here. We're at a crossroads here. What we decide to do now, the council is of two minds. The council is of one mind that we should actually attack here and retake victory back for ourselves here, because that's the real key here. They've gotten victory from a previous defeat they inflicted upon us further down in the sort of Atlantic. There's another side of the council that's saying no matter, hold off, because you're effectively fighting within enemy territory, in inverted commas as it were, so we've got to be careful here. So what we're going to do is, if they attack us now, we'll take the fight, but if we can avoid a fight here, then we're going to decline that attack. Again, they're going to move just to see what they do here. Looks like they're just going to stop here. We've got, wait a minute, so that's a... Now, we've got to be careful here. We've got to be very, very careful what we do here, because we could be ambushed here, and we've got the Polish moving in with great speed here. And of course, we do have a good alliance with the US. Now, we're not effectively going to be dragging the US into the fight with Poland. They're not going to do that. But what it does give us is a very strong ally in terms of trade, which is what we need at the moment. As you can see, the Poles hitting the trade lines coming from North America and the Americas. We have to be ready here for anything. And I think we're also the council absolutely calling at the top of their lungs for us to increase our fleet size. So we're going to have we've got another fleet there, which we're going to increase the number of ships it has. I think that's going to be absolutely crucial for us. It really is. What about Russia? I think Russia's got its hands full with Sweden at the moment. It looks like all indicators, all pointers are actually moving towards that they're going to just strike. As you can see there in the corner there, look at all that grouping there. They're going to strike Moscow, which is under Swedish control, pretty hard. As you go, I think that's Karelia fallen. If there's fallen, that means our army will be pushed out of there. I believe Karelia has fallen. It has indeed. As you can see, there it is. Karelia's fallen back into Russian hands, but not Moscow. Moscow is still under Swedish control here, and Sweden, I'm not really sure, but they've got a powerhouse here in terms of the region, because Moscow is just, if it's developed fully, Moscow is one of the most powerful regions in the entire campaign. It has a plethora, a huge amount of opportunity in terms of economic and trade potential. Looks like Sweden's up to something here, but we're not quite sure what to hold them back. Louisiana. I've got New Spain here as well, possibly the nice St. John. Venetians call it, no, United States, there's United States pirates, which are always a menace, but hopefully not going to bother any of our allies in the area. Let me check. Look at that. Let's get that up and running here. We need every single possible avenue of income to be at firing at all cylinders here. It's not too bad, but of course we're at peace with Russia for the moment. We've got a very strong defensive force. Look at that defensive force there, but we can't allow ourselves to slip into, because Russia really is incredibly powerful. It just, look at that. I mean, but they're moving a great deal of their major forces away here to the east. I believe they're probably going to have a massive push against Sweden. Look at that. They've even got a force here on the road to Moscow. We don't know what's in here. They've still got St. Petersburg though, the Swedes. That's good. Allied with them. They have lost and been hit here. Look at that. Russia are actually hitting the port here, Umia. So they could be moving against them there. Now let's have a look at that. We've got a rebellion in Saxony. Look at that. That force there has actually made it into Saxony. So that's some good reinforcement there. But we'll keep them this side of the river, just in case the Russians move, the Poles move against it. They've still got a good complement of forces here. We have to look at that. Gosh, you've got a good amount of income there. So let's repair this here, and also let's repair that there as well, just to make sure we got everything. What we could do is actually move some of these gentlemen in to help. As you can see here, this army, although it's got good experience, we probably need an additional force in here, and also this one here as well. I think it probably moved out.
Your humble servant. Troops,
let's make sure that goes through this time. We'll just make sure that these gentlemen here reset their repair. At least we've got some reinforcements here, but we've also moved in some additional forces here just to really fill out these here that have been left here. So thankfully we've got them in here to protect against this. We won't build in here because they're bound to hit against that there if they do. We've been hit pretty hard here in the Rhineland, but again we've got a very strong force here, but we should really have 2 additional regiments moving in here to help protect that. Cologne, I'm going to need that for definite there. Growth is pretty poor here, actually, population growth. Got an army here.
Yes, sir.
I was hoping to be able to ambush, but effectively we're not going to be able to, unless we to move them in here into the fort. But then that would open up this path here. They'd be able to move through here, which we don't want.
Sir,
we do want to be able to support this.
March!
We want to be able to support Strasbourg if possible.
Your humble servant.
Just need one more regiment in here, so we'll just do that there to make that sure that's got a full capacity. Because another regiment will make all the difference. Now let's get these gentlemen up here.
Ready and awaiting orders.
It's actually been replenished and repaired here, which is absolutely fantastic. But not all of them. Look at that. Look at the fighting. Look how many of these units have been absolutely so heavily smashed in here. Actually, it's not too bad. These didn't come off too bad here at all. Same here.
At the ready.
So actually, this is in pretty good shape, this army here. We've got this here. Let's set our stall out. Just so that no one's under any illusions here of what we're going to be doing here. Repair the trade port here, as you can see. Le Havre. Got this army here, but we need to deal with this army here. Let's replenish and repair this one here as well. That's going to be repaired. On the border here with Spain. Also replenishing and repair that, making sure we got every possible. Our economic efforts are not going to be undermined here at all. We've got a strong naval presence here. Admiral's flagship here, but I think, oh look at that, HMS George. First ship, I think we'll have a first ship of the line here. Just to make sure we can improve this fleet here. We want this fleet here to be full capacity. We might actually move this fleet here down here, because this fleet can't move out, but what we can do is support it by moving down to here. Look at that. There's another Polish fleet here. See what I mean? If we don't set a marker here, then what we're going to find is we're going to be losing a lot. Two of our major fleets here. That's at full capacity. That's excellent. Saxony has also got some additional forces in here as well, which is excellent to see. We're replenishing, repairing that there. What we're not going to do, no, well, actually we don't probably need. We'll dispense with that actually. They're going to hit us pretty hard here. They're going to start raiding here. That's why we're not bothering to put anything in there either. We've got this Polish force here which we have to deal with, but ideally we don't want to deal with this Spanish force. We've got this army here, Bishop Maiden, was going to be moving up here to support and hold against the Poles. We've got these forces here as well. Look at that there. we're going to deal with this force first.
Your orders, Your Majesty.
Then we're going to replenish and replay General Elizabeth Ernok. Look at that. Only 14 lost, of course.
Forwards! March!
Repair. Make sure we make our stand here. Make sure that everybody knows that we're not going to be cowering. Only 1,000. Look at that force. It's a joy to see. Look at these here. This force, once it's fully replenished, will be moving immediately here to deal with this Spanish force here. We've also got... oh, look at that there. We don't have enough money for that. 10,000 to repair that there. My goodness me, that's scary. But we could... we've got this force here, as you can see here, moving down. Look at that. Look at the growth here. Now this force is more of a defensive force, but this one we could actually move in here and attack. That's a very, very strong force there. We don't know what's in here either, but what we do need to know is what's in Munich. Let's have a quick peep what's in Vienna. Nothing in Vienna at all. Let's move back to Munich here. Nothing much here, so most of their armies are here, so they're pushing with everything they've got here. Now if we can hold, then we'd have done ourselves a real service here. As you can see, this army here is very, very strong as well under General Savorsky. But if we can deal with this army group here, this is effectively what their main strength is here. This army group here, look at that. Very, very powerful forces indeed. We need to pick away at these. I think we might have to deal with this force here. And look at that. Look at this army here we've got. Now this the most powerful, one of the most powerful armies we have available to ourselves is here. We don't have the... So if any council member would like to take this army here on, then of course we must be careful as we don't drag in this army here from Cologne to fight as well, because we can't weaken Cologne at all because we've got this army, this force coming in here as well. We've also got to protect Strasbourg because there's this very, very strong Polish force in and around here. We might just deal with this force in Cleves here and start giving the Poles a bit of a bloody nose here. We can also move the force from Brussels out as well, because there's nothing else in and around that's going to threaten Brussels apart from this force here. But actually what we will do, we can't really move this force either. Actually we can move this force up into Brussels and then move this force out, because that's far too powerful a force to be standing there. We've got Elizabeth Ernok's force to deal with anything loitering around in here. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to move this force out here and this force into Brussels. We're going to sort of start surrounding here the Poles.
Troops! More orders! March!
Just going to start surrounding the Poles here, ready. So if they strike, we can strike at their flanks. This force is going into here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to reset their training, their replenishment here. Because sometimes when you move the forces, the training doesn't always go through. So I just want to make sure that we reset the reinforcements here. Because perfect. So now we've got them. If that army's at back to full strength, there's pretty much nothing that'll break Brussels. And I am loathed to lose. We could use that force there when it's replenished here. But I think what we are going to do is we're going to take the fight here against this force here. We're going to use this powerful force we have here to actually maul them, because that's a pretty strong force they've got there. If we can take them out here, we can pull this army back to replenish. This army will then effectively move into position here to take its place. We can then strike at the flank of the Poles if they move along, including this force here if needs be. We'll also strike into the flank. And we've also got this replenishing here. Once we've dealt with this Spanish force here, what we can do then is we can this will all be freed up so we can start. We can probably move another force away from here once it's fully replenished, and then also move it into here to deal with the poles. So effectively we'll start surrounding the poles here, or at least looking to outflank them. We've got this here, but let's take the fight here. Let's take our first battle against the poles. I wonder if we get peace with Spain. Let's quickly just check if we get peace with Spain. Because I know some of the council are calling for us to get peace with Spain. Let's see if they'll do that. Yes, indeed. Now then. That's going to really help us a lot here. Because that's now moved their forces out here, back into Italy here. Now I know we can't take Rome. I know that many of the council are saying, man, you should have taken Rome before you asked for peace, but it'll give us a chance to be able to sort of move more troops in from here. And probably here from Egypt. We'll move troops through from here into Egypt. Now we've got Poland here on our... look at that Polish force there. It's just absolutely ridiculous. If they want Patras, they can just effectively just walk in and take it. And we can't do anything to stop that. Because that's just a monumental amount of Polish troops. We're not kidding anybody here that we can hold that force there. We just can't. But we can give them a real bloody nose here if needs be. Now these forces have been moved away. Particularly this very powerful force here, but we're not going to give up Paris at all here for anybody. That's going to stay very strongly defended, but now we can start to focus more on Poland, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to take this fight here, my friends, and we're going to take this Polish force here in Cleves. We're not bringing anything else in. No other armies bringing this. It's a straight fight between these two armies here. Let's take this fight. And let's show the Poles what they're up against here. They're up against the absolute pinnacle here of British fighting forces, and by Jove, we will show them what they're up against. Just on the outskirts of Amsterdam here. Only a mere 200 miles away from Amsterdam, but my goodness me, we'll show the Poles what they're going to be a taste of. And we'll move this army back, or actually we'll leave it where it is, reoccupy the farmland there, replenish and repair, and then we shall move in. And look at that. Now the topography here of this battlefield, as you can see, we slightly overlap here the Polish deployment zone. And we've got this undulating... Look at the depth of the... It's huge. The width of this is just absolutely huge. It really is. It's a massive deployment zone. Now we're going to have to use our cavalry, which we've got only 3 regiments of. But mind you, they are horse guards, so these are effectively royal cavalry. We've also got a very strong strike force here. I'd like to bring in probably the Fusiliers to do the backbone of the fighting here in terms of outfighting them. But look at the depth here of the fire support. It is monstrous. Right. Now, is there anything here? And there's nothing at all. We've got this small house here, this farmhouse, that's going to possibly block our path on this left-hand side. So I think we'll attack from the right. Let's just bring all our cavalry over here at the moment. We won't deploy them just yet, we'll just put them here so we know that this is the flank we're going to be attacking from. Now, we want to be fairly far forward, but not too far forward. We'll just move the back here. And again, just move these gentlemen out of the way so we can properly align ourselves to what we want to do. Oh, the Fusiliers are an absolute joy. Now, setting up these gentlemen will be key here to our fight. All howitzers, so we're going to actually have them all behind the line. Now let's just... Look at the fire support here, it is an absolute joy. Just look at that. I mean, if that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, nothing will, my friend. Look at that. Perfect, perfect. Now, oh, quicklime, where will quicklime hit? Quicklime is... Oh, look at that. Quicklime is absolutely going to decimate anything in its path. The fire support here will be absolutely vital here in hammering home. We've got no R on this slope here, so what we'll do, we'll deploy our forces on this slope here. Now we do want the Fusiliers. The Royal Grenadier. No, we'll have the Fusiliers. Oh, wait a minute. We'll have the Fusiliers attacking along this flank as well here. And those of you who may not have seen the British Fusiliers, feast your eyes upon this. Look at that. Look at that. If that doesn't warm the cockles of your heart, my friends, nothing will. Look at that. The absolute pinnacle of British fighting forces. It really is. I jest not. Now, let's put. We've got Marines as well. There. Like, I mean, look at the experience of these Marines. Right up there with the best of the best. We'll put them on the crest of this hill here. It's going to be hard because we're going to be hit by a lot of incoming cannon fire. But that's what we've got to face. We've just got to look at that. We've got to be able to stand toe to toe with the Polish and just let them know we're not going to be backing down here. We've then got the Royal British Grenadier Guards. So very, very strong defensive force, as you can see here. Backed by incredible fire support. We've got some Grenadiers as well, but there it is, another 13th Regiment. The Grenadier Guards. Queen's Own, look at that. 28th and 12th Grenadier Guards. I think we'll have... yeah, 67th Regiment here. Again, gentlemen. Look at that there on the left. We shall have the 66th Regiment on the right. And again, all about holding that defensive line here whilst we move in against them as well. We've got the 60th Regiment here, which we'll put here on the left flank. We do have some Grenadier Guards, which I think are the Grenadiers as well on the right here. It's going to be a joy to see this battle, it really is. Now, we do have these regiments here. I think we'll keep this regiment in reserve just on the off chance we're caught on the hop, and we can always move them into position quite quickly. Preferably probably on the left hand flank here, but we'll take them off fire. We'll only friendly fire. Now here we've got the cavalry, which I think we'll just put on this side of the wood here, this small outcrop, and then again we'll have these gentlemen here as well, just in behind here. We're gonna march fast and hard here against the Polish flank here. We've got a very strong defence, and that, my friends, is preparation here. So we're going to hit the right hand side here pretty hard. But let's begin here. Let's see guns open up. Let's take the fight. Let's take the fight to the Poles. Let's show them what they're going to be missing here. Let's immediately move into position here. Excuse any noise in the background, my friends. You can probably guess whom that might be. Oh, look at that. That's devastating, sir. Let's move immediately here into position. If they want the fight, then we'll oblige. Oh, look at the guards, lancers as well, sir. Right, let's see what they're made of. We're going to move this. Oh. Damn, they've hit that flank there pretty hard. My goodness me. This flank is going to descend into madness here, it really is. Oh, for goodness sake, gentlemen, get back into line here. Don't stroll, gentlemen, don't stroll. Keep firing, lads. My goodness me, our regiment's taking an absolute pounding here. Oh, look at that. They don't like it up there, sir. Hold that square. They've gone. They've gone. They don't like it, sir. They don't like it either. Oh, this is so wonder. Oh gosh, they've gone. Oh my goodness me, they're just going to roll in here. Alright, let's deal with this. Let's deal with this household cavalry. Look at that. Let's deal with it. Yes, well done, sir. Look at that, it's a wonder. We've absolutely smashed them in here. Let's get stuck in here, lads. Double time, Jim. Double time! Excuse any noise in the background, my friends. I'm just going to take this flank here instead. Let's just deploy here. Let's get right in on them. Let's not give them any space here at all. Let's move in on them. Let's move in on them. Oh, why is this an absolute bloodbath, sir? Oh, he's dead. He has died. That's an absolute tragedy here, but it had to be done. It had to be done. Lost our general, but he sacrificed himself there, sir. Get in there, lads. Just. Excuse any noise in the background, my friends. Excuse any noise in the background there. I have no idea what this regiment is doing here. They have to be shattered. Shatter them, please, sir. Look at this. This is what's in store for the Poles if they come for us here. I'm not going to let any of them get away here. Not a single one. Swarming over them here. They're wavering, sir. That's what happens when you cross Britain's finest troops, sir. Yes, of course. Heroic victory, of course, sir. Away with you. We lost 900 men. They've got 86 men left. Look at that. Look at the Grenadier Guards, sir. 240 kills. Horse Guards, Marines 228. Cuirassiers, what a wonder. The Fusiliers did they, but look at the Grenadier Guards. My goodness me. That's a joy to see. Away with you, sir.
Troops,
Now we've lost our general here. I do apologise for that, my friends. We lost our general here, but still, we are going to bring the gentleman up to full strength eventually, but of course it's going to cost us 2,000 3,000 in gold there. And now that, I think, is the end of this particular turn here, my friends. You have to excuse me, someone does want to go out at the moment, my friends. It would appear that was a ruse, my friends, but we've now pushed them back here, so we can replenish. It's going to cost us something here as well, but still, we are now at last starting to get a grip here. We've pushed them away. At least we've pushed them away here from Amsterdam. It gives us a little bit of a breathing space here. We are going to be hit, I think, pretty hard here by the remaining forces here. But we haven't checked out that. That's a sad loss there. But again, the council is, of course, obliged, if you would be so kind, just to apply for the generalship here. Anybody who wants the generalships here will, of course, be straight away considered. Now, what do we do here? Do we try and get peace with Poland? Let's see if Poland would want peace here, because we've given them a bit of a bloody nose here, mind you. Let's see if they're more interested in peace here. Will they? No, they won't. Not at all. That's absolutely fine. Looks like we're going to have to give them another bloody nose here. I think we'll end the turn here. I don't think there's anything else we can do here at the moment. We do have peace with Spain at last. Russia's peace with Russia is. Let's see if we can get trade with Spain. Yes, indeed. So they're friendly with us now, but that will increase. I'll actually reduce that because, of course, we're not raiding them anymore. That's absolutely fine. I'd rather have a trade pact there with them at least. Let's just send them this ship right around here to join in here. Now Poland still wants that fight. We can't move this ship here at all, because as soon as it moves, it'll be caught there in that fight. So we've got to be careful here. But we are at least setting our stall out here. We've got to get rid of this fleet here as well if possible, but we can't do it at the moment. Actually, no, it is. It's actually pushed away here. Of course, we're at peace with Spain, so of course this port is now open. So hopefully our trade will increase now. We've got nothing from here at the moment yet, so, because we've got this here. Of course, they all link in together. Right. Let's have a look at our here. We've got nothing here at all. Venice. United States is looking very strong here indeed. Pirates here. Jamaica, speaking of Jamaica, we abandoned the New World to effectively focus here. Look at that. Oh, Florida is actually under rebel hands. I wonder if the US would actually move there against that. And Montreal is also under rebel hands, as is Arcadia as well. This is, and Newfoundland. Wow. The US could really just absolutely plough through all of that and just explode here in terms of its. Look at that, we're the only one is trading with overland here. I mean, trading with the moment. We've got a very strong trading relationship with them indeed. But let's end the turn here, my friends. Let's see what happens. That's reduced here, but still, that's because we're not raiding as much. 60. We've got, look at our tax income though. That's huge. Let's end the turn here. Let's see what happens. So we're at peace with Spain, so let's pull them back here a little bit here. That's absolutely fine. They can move back here. We've got our foothold in Italy, so if they do decide to move against us here again, we will advance on Rome. We will not hold back against that at all. Oh, they're retreating, which is good to see. What will Poland do here? We've given them a real thrashing there, Poland, but it looks like they send additional forces in here. Indeed, oh, that's going to be a brutal fight. Oh dear, no. Are they going to pick up an army? That could be picked to pick up an army. No, it is not. Poland, what are you doing? actually pulling back here from Dresden. This is very odd indeed. Has that fight around Amsterdam put them off? No, it hasn't. Oh. Look at that. Now, we're not going to take that fight because we've got this army here which has been involved in that fighting here. That's, my goodness me, that's a lot of forces. We'd never hold against that there. But then again, looks like they're going to move in against Cologne by itself here. And the Cologne will not be able to withstand this. Or will it? Ah, look at that. Luckily we declined the attack, because now that's spread their forces thinner now. We can get that other army up now. Ah, look at that. That's actually done us well to not take that fight. But Russia's moving a lot of forces, so I think Sweden could be in trouble here. Because they're being raided as well here along the border. But what will Sweden do? That's the response we need to know. Is what, oh, look at that. They moved into Moscow. Moscow's under siege. Has it fallen? It's fallen. Moscow has fallen. Wow. Sweden are on the back foot now at the moment. I wonder if Russia will remember what we did. That's okay. We'll let them deal with Sweden. Hopefully Sweden can hold St. Petersburg open here. But they've retaken Moscow anyway. But at least they delayed the Russians for a while. Now what will Sweden do in response? That's the key. Louisiana, New Spain. I think a troll there. We might just see a little bit of a cut from there. Sweden did take quite a while for Sweden to do there to decide what they wanted to do. Poland, don't you dare get involved in any shenanigans here, sir, at all. Now, United States on the move as well, which is always good to see. And pirates. Saxony. Don't do it, Saxony. Don't do it, sir, because it's just not going to come out well for you at all. Now they've left us alone here. We're effectively trapped here, though we can't really move out from here.
Yes, my lord. Orders? Aye, aye, sir.
Just at war with Poland here. Now we've got this army here, which is still replenishing here, but look at that. Some of these are still almost at full strength now, which is good to see. We're starting to see that quick replenishment there. Got 24,000, 25,000 here. We'll upgrade this Weaver's Cottage. Additional 562 into regional wealth. That's open there. We've got nothing coming in here at the moment because, of course, it's being blockaded here by the Poles. Sweden. That's a real shame, that is there. They still got a good chunk of Scandinavia under their control, and they still got St. Petersburg, thankfully. But I can't see them holding off the Russian might for very long, to be honest with you. Now this army here has to be replenished. It's going to be our first goal here. Excuse me doing that, my friends. It's going to be our first goal here is to get this here army replenished. And also, this army does need an additional general. Look at that. So we've got this replenishing now, which is excellent. We'll also bring this up to full. So we've cleared that one Polish force. I'd like to try and clear this Polish force as well. Open up this flank entirely. We might use this force here to do so. In other words, we push back the Poles from our territory entirely and sort of move and converge on them here. They're moving strong forces in here. Now, how are these gentlemen doing here? They're slowly starting to move up here from General Bischemont and here. But they took a fierce beating there, they did. These armies are at full strength. that's good to see there. And they're moving back, so Spanish forces moving back here. Let's get that replenished there, repaired there. Everything must be at full strength here for us. We've got the trade here with... Still a while yet for these to be ready to go. Wow, look at the amount of regional wealth coming in here. It's going to be fantastic. Ah, look at that there. Let's get this replenished and repaired. So we don't have that. We've got no the tax burden here, but look at that. Look at the growth. 139. Look at that. 17,000. That's what we cannot lose Paris at all under any circumstances. It's bringing in nearly 20,000 per turn. We just can't lose Paris at all. And that's why we've got such a heavy presence around it. But we could effectively move some of these forces away here.
Lord,
Looks like the winter is over as well.
ready for orders.
We could block off, no, we can't block off this bridge here. What we can do is just move this force in here.
Forward.
Just to send them a message. If they come for us, then they're going to be
At the ready.
up against here.
Sir. Ready and awaiting orders.
One more additional unit is going to go into there. That's at full strength. Another unit in here. That'll give us a full army. Now the Poles have got some strong forces here, but nothing that we could really shaking our boots at here. We're taking a real hit here. We've got this Saxon army here moving in. They're not quite at full strength just yet, but we're getting there bit by bit. But they're not moving against Saxony at all yet. Let's set our stall out here.
Oh,
Let's see what else might be behind us here. We need this. There's nothing else at all here behind them.
secrecy.
This is the major attack here by the Poles. I think we could probably deal with this. To be honest with you, I think we might move this army out here from Amsterdam and strike in here and deal with this force here and push them back as well. Because we've got to interfere. This is probably the strongest army they've sent into the area. This one is here. This is the strongest army. For some reason they got 2 generals, which is odd. But again, they're not at full strength either, but that's a very powerful force there. What we might do is use this force here and push them out of Munster. And again, we're bringing this army to full strength, which is excellent to see. Let's recruit one more. I think we might have some light infantry sharpshooters, I think, for this regiment, for this army here. And they're all coming up to full strength now, and then that'll be ready to move. These gentlemen will be ready to move up here. We'll actually take the fight probably to the Poles and actually push them out of here entirely, move up to the border, and we'll effectively cut off the border here. So to do that, we need to move in this fight here and deal with these. That, my friends, is the fight we're going to take next episode. We want to completely eliminate these forces in their entirety. Look at the gun, look at the fire support here. It will simply smash them to pieces here. But what we're going to do is we want to effectively have a border, an iron curtain coming down around Amsterdam and what we hold here to hold back that surge there from the Poles, particularly here if they break through into Swedish territory here. Or maybe we can take advantage here and move into Copenhagen if the Poles move into there. But still, that's the fight we're going to take next episode, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I thank all of you for your wonderful support for this episode, for this campaign and the USA campaign. The USA campaign has been a phenomenal support, it really has. But I thank all of you for your wonderful support. It's been absolutely fantastic, it really has. Please keep your comments coming down below. Whatever you're doing for my friends, please be safe. But until next time, bye for now.